Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Irons United. I'm in unfamiliar setting today. Well, not unfamiliar because I'm in my own house and not at a supporters club. We're talking today about safe standing. I've got with me Matt. How you doing, Matt?
I'm not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. And Matt, do you prefer to stand at games or sit?
I prefer to stand, but I have to, and everyone else sits.
Good. So, yeah, the reason for today is we know things are moving forward with safe standing at stadiums. Manchester United have applied for rail seating after a recent fan forum. They've gone as far now as notifying season ticket holders in the area they plan to do it. They're just waiting for permission from the SAG. Gone in. I know Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea also look into it. Let me just have a look. Someone's already got it as well. I know Tottenham have already got a section put aside. They've already basically implemented.
Oh dear, we seem to have lost Dan. Right, okay. Well, it looks like it's going to be on my own at the moment. Yeah, Man United have applied for safe standing, which, as Dan was just saying, Celtic have implemented themselves. And they've been doing it a while. This year and last year, and it looks like it's worked really well. And if what they're saying about the trials for safe standing is true, and that it's actually helping cause less issues with the stewarding, I can see it as it's a big step forward.
I'm back. Don't worry, Matt. We're not leaving you on your own, mate. Listen, we've obviously lost Dan, so we'll continue this. It's only going to be a short and sweet video tonight. Nothing major. But what were you saying there, Matt, about the kind of safe standing? I mean, I heard Dan ask you, what do you do in and around your area?
Yeah, so I was saying I sit, but I would prefer to stand, but I don't want to be the one guy standing around. Obviously, if everyone's standing, then it's fine. But if you're the one person standing, you'll be behind you trying to sit down and you feel like a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
But Dan was saying that they said at Celtic, they've actually had feedback that was positive, saying it's actually caused less animosity, if you will, between the fans and the stewards.
Yeah.
Which I think at West Ham would actually be like a massive advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, especially with this talk about,
Hey!
Especially with this talk they're saying about squaring off the two end tiers. You think if they're going to bring it forward and square it off, that would be, for me, maybe the bottom or lower would be a perfect opportunity to say safe standing, because that is the stand that pretty much the lower tier stands up anyway. If you're going to bring it closer, that would be the opportunity to say to people, we're going to trial the safe standing there. Because I think it'll help generate an atmosphere. You'll get less. The stewards probably like it as well. They won't get as much abuse because at the end of the day, I don't think they want to stand there and say to you, "You've got to sit down. Can you sit down?" Where it's a Premier League, it's a Premier League motion. Their thing that no, you've got to sit down at the game. There's points to standing, but you can't stay out the whole time. So if you can bring some safe standing seats in, it will ease a lot of the tension. Maybe it'll help create a better atmosphere as well. And it's good to see a lot of the Premier League teams going for it, even if it is only a small section.
I think it has been proven, though, in particular, obviously, I live up in Scotland and I see all the kind of stats that come through from Celtic Park. Dan, I don't know what other information you've got on it, but I can see from some of the televised games, etc., that the atmosphere is bouncing from that particular area of Celtic Park.
Yeah.
And like we have all said, the whole key point to this factor is it's safe standing. It's not potentially causing any people bother. We know now when you go to Olympic Stadium, there's no real massive amount of control about where people sit and stand or where they sit in around the stadium, because of course we've got the concourse. It's not boarded off. How would that look at I keep going to want to say Upton Park, but how would that look at the London Stadium?
Just had it again. So how would standing look?
Yeah, well, how would it look? No, because currently, we've got the issue between the fan base, a mixture of people that want to stand, people that want to sit, but equally you've got a mixture of people that don't particularly sit in their seats. I'm not going to lie, I've been guilty of moving from my seat at the stadium to go and hang about with people I know, and I'm not the only one by a million miles. Where does that kind of leave West Ham?
I think it's a positive thing. It's something the board could do to induce a bit of positivity in the fans as well. But it also shows people, if they're buying a ticket or renewing a season ticket, that they are getting a spot in a safe standing area. Because there's a lot of people don't like standing because they can't stand, or they can't stand the whole game. So, and that's where a lot of issues with people standing have come in the past. There's also the safety aspect of it, because as we know, Bobby Moore Lower, where I go, we all stand up. And it's now been seen as an issue where people are standing, they're going to stand, they can't stop people standing. But if they fall, they're going to fall over the seat in front of them and hit the concrete. Whereas if they was to put rail seating in, then it would stop that. It would be safer.
Yeah, I think that's what they put in the celly, haven't they? It's like it's a rail in front with like a little sort of half seat behind. And I think say the Bobby Moore Lower, where everyone's already standing, as I said, it's going to help create. I'm not going to lie. I went to the West Brom game. I normally sit in the Bobby Moore Upper, and I have to sit down because people around me, I've got family and kids, and they don't stand up. Obviously, they stand up for high intense moments, but they don't stand up the whole game. So I have to sit down a lot of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas West Brom game, I was in the Bobby Moore Lower. I changed my seat, and I'll stand up the whole game, and I enjoyed it more, and there was a better atmosphere. So if they can put 1 or 2 or 3 areas of like 2,000 seats of safe standing around the stadium, it could in fact help generate a better atmosphere.
Yeah. That's my favourite place is Bobby Moore Lower. Always jumping around, singing. Even when you score a goal, you're already on your feet. So you're charging around, you're jumping up and down like a maniac rather than just upright and just, yes, good show. It's just, you're right there, aren't you? I agree with Kent Hammers. Bobby Moore Lower, it's already good down there. It wouldn't need, if you do it in Bobby Moore Lower, you wouldn't need to bring any aspects of making it known that it was safe standing, because we already stand. You wouldn't have to worry about upsetting people that can't stand, because we've implemented it ourselves.
Well, as I was saying, they're talking about this summer, if they're talking about squaring off the 2 lower tiers anyway. So if they're going to square off the lower tier, they've got to rejiggle the seating. So surely that is then the perfect opportunity to try it.
Exactly that. We've got, was it something like 11 million or something like that been made to tart up the stadium? I can't remember the exact amount.
Like 11
million doesn't sound like, doesn't seem a lot. But yeah, it's a perfect time to do it. With, even seeing how it goes through, if Manchester United get the okay with it. And as I was saying before, Wolves have already got it implemented. Yeah. They've already set it up, and Tottenham have already got a section assigned for it. So once they get the go-ahead, they can go.
Unless that picture there, that picture of that Wolves there, it's not much different, is it? You've just got a bit of railing behind the seat.
It's just the scaffolding being on top of the Bobby Moore Lower than it being underneath.
But yeah, they've still got the seats. They've just got the railing there.
You can sit or you can stand. So,
which for me, it's not like the old school. Obviously, that was the whole point of getting rid of the standing, was because there was no designated seats. You all just piled in.
Yeah.
And then that was too many people. Whereas if you've got an allocated seat anyway, and then the rail's there to stand up.
Yeah, it's not a free-for-all. There's not going to be a lot of people jumping into one position. Not more than usual. It works even at away days. It works at away day. You stand up. Unless you're unlucky enough to end up the back row at Chelsea.
But as well, it said, we have a lot of problems. It's not as much now, to be fair, but we do still have issues with stewards where they're like, come on, you've got to sit down.
Yeah.
Whereas if the bottom or lower, if you've all got safe standing and you're all standing up, everyone's going to have a nicer day. You're not going to you're not going to be anyone getting abused like, oh, you need to sit down now.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be families or kids moaning, because if they, like you said, Man United are sending out seating holders notices that you are sitting in the safe standing.
So it does, for safe standing point of view, it looks a positive if they've had to go that far. It's Sports Minister Nigel Adams. He's seen the reports that have come out of Celtic, and he seems it's as a positive, and it will work with fans. He will, or they will. The government will work with fans and clubs to see to get it implemented.
Yeah, because it's not free. I said it's not free for all. It is regulated. There is still, you do get an allocated seat, and there's a row there so that you can't fall forward at the person behind you. It's, for me, it's a win-win.
That is what I think the safety aspect is something to go on. You know,
Because
you're going to
that's
be
their
there.
main priority. Is like obviously this all goes back to Hillsborough. That's where
It does, yeah. It's
So
been
for the
banned since
government-
'94.
So the government for them is like they don't want just stand there if it's going to be any sort of crushing or, you know, any health and safety is a massive thing these days. But if you've got that rail there, you're not falling forward, and you've still got your allocated spot to stand.
Yeah.
Surely there's no issue for them, and it generates better atmosphere, which makes the Premier League better on TV again. Because at the moment, not all the teams, some of the teams have brilliant atmospheres, but some of them, those stadiums are dead. And if you can put a bit of safe standing in to give every team's ultras the opportunity to raise the atmosphere again, surely that's again makes more money for Premier League.
Exactly, it's better viewing. You know, it just benefits everyone, to be honest. And since like it was banned for the top two tiers from the standing section in '94, stadiums have improved so much. Like '94 to me doesn't seem that long ago, but it's
nearly 30 years to be fair.
Exactly, it's 26 years. You know, I mean, people can stand. There's no fencing now in front of people. You know, it's not tiny little, like tiny little steps between each row and where people are going to fall down. Say with us, we've got stewards individually in sections, especially in the Bobby Moore lower. So you have to pass your hang on, update. Right, cancel that. Yeah, so you have to show your ticket before you can get into lower. So, I mean, it's already being policed. You're not going to get an extra 10,000 people down there or whatever. So I really think it could work.
I hope they bring it through. I hope a lot more Premier League teams adopt it as well. Like, I generally think it would be better for everyone. I don't think there's any really... Because it's not like they've just made the whole stadium. It's... Everyone's going to, I think Man United is like 1,500 seats.
Yeah.
Old Trafford's a 68,000 seat stadium or something. So
it's
only a small minority. It's not like a large thing. And obviously, maybe they can expand it more if it proves a success in the Premier League. But if everyone rolls it out, 1,500 seats, it should, in theory, make everything more attractive. I mean, it should be easier for us than other teams because half the lower tiers sitting on scaffolding, most of the lower tiers sitting on scaffolding.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't. It's not like it should. They put it up and down in the summer anyway. So if they can get implemented and ready for next season, when they can put it up, they should already have it ready to go. Like
it is just
isn't a lot.
It's such a simple thing to do as well. It seems like. I mean, we've got a lot of seating not being used anyway, which is under that scaffolding. It could even be designed during the season, during the week, and moved, or it gets moved out of season. So it's come up. How does it impact West Ham? Because we don't own the stadium. The thing is, it still holds sporting events, and it still does concerts, and they will still be safe standing areas, in my opinion, for them. Whether we can get permission to do it and they see it that way. But again, 2/3 of MPs voted at the end of last year to say they need to review it and look into removing it from the top 2 tiers of football. So it's even got their support.
I don't think it would be hard for us to do it. I just think we'd have to pay for it. Because I said, like a lot of the events, that lower tier gets moved. Because they can just cover up the running track and then it's more people standing So I don't think it'd be that much of an issue. Because even then, if you saw that picture from the Wolves one, I don't know how permanent that railing is, but it does look like it could be moved. It's probably some nuts and bolts drilled into the floor.
It's glorified scaffolding, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it could go down and then,
So it's just a case we'd have to pay for it.
Yeah. Once it's gone down once, it's a Meccano set, isn't it? Unscrew it from the floor, move it along section by section, whether they're 10 foot, 20 foot, 30 foot. And then once that's done, they just need to go in place, And I'm
not being funny. It shouldn't cost that much money to do it.
I'd do it myself.
with the way the board are with the fans at the moment, anything they can do to get the fans on side is going to be good for them. So for them, they should just pay it. Yeah. It's going to be pennies out of their pocket compared to other things. If it improves the atmosphere, it helps the team tenfold. So it should be nothing. It should be something that they can just flick their wrist out and go, go do it. If we get permission, which it sounds like a lot of teams will get.
There's a lot of big teams, ourselves included, or teams with big stadiums, probably is more apt at the moment, that that are trying to get the ball rolling. And it seems now, whereas before it was being trolled by smaller teams or lower tier teams, with the likes of Celtic, and now it's pretty much all Premiership London clubs are actually going for it, with the exception of Palace.
Palace is a surprising one for me, but I don't know if I think they're sort of in the middle of maybe redeveloping the ground. So maybe if they get to that point, they can look to add it to it. But they've got a big ultra scene themselves, so you think that they'd be definitely one of the ones that will do it. But they make a lot of noise anyway, Palace. So maybe they don't think they necessarily need it.
Their areas aren't that wide, like the steps between each row aren't that wide, and they've got a low ceiling, haven't they? And the support beams on the terrace. You could end up with, if you further than 6, 7, 8 rows back from the front, then at certain points of the game you're going to miss because the post is in the way. I
think that's why they are looking at doing a massive redevelopment. I'm sure they're talking like a couple of £100 or something. So maybe for them, they can look at doing that when they do the redevelopment. But I think a lot of teams before it, like you said, it's been trialled and it's, there's not been any problems with it. And it shouldn't be. The way modern engineering is anyway, the safe standing should be an easy thing to implement for anyone. And it's people standing anyway. This is the thing. It's not like we're at a stage in the Premier League where everyone sits down at every club. You're supposed to, and then everyone has that end. Every stadium has that one end, normally one of the two ends behind the goal where everyone stands and sings.
Yeah,
so everyone's doing it anyway. You might as well implement a safe standing and just make their game safer, their day safer. No one has to worry about anything. You ain't got a steward going on at them all day. You need to sit down.
No, I think we fought that during the first season, when any time they tried to tell anyone in the Bobby Moore lower to sit down, then they started singing "Stand Up If You Love West Ham," and 50,000 fans were standing up just by telling one person to sit down. So I think they kind of give up on that. So,
but it's got to be something I think to look at. I think a lot of teams will go for it.
Yeah, I'm just reading, as Lammy Tanner said, the away fans sound loud. They do. They're all standing. I mean, to us, maybe not so much in the Bobby Moore lower because they're 3 mile away. But any time you go away, you're loud. Or anytime, if you're the away team, all you hear is yourself, and it's a leveler. So, and that's one thing they've got is, we're worried about being told to sit down, and some people do, some people don't. If we have an away section, then we can counteract that from the opposite end of the stadium.
I think, as Ken Ammer said there, he said maybe it's not the problem or lower. Maybe the nearest block to the away fans would be a good one, which would also be a good shout because, like I was going to say, say about away fans, the away fans normally, the die-hard fans, they've got team players, they're the fans that follow teams. That's not just West Ham, that's every Premier League team. Yeah. And that's why they're always the loudest because they are like the die-hard fans that they follow their club everywhere and they sing and shout their heart all day. So in some ways, it might be interesting to put the safe standing next to the away fans because then that would definitely create a bit of atmosphere.
I agree that to an extent. I used to love the Trevor Brook in lower back at the Bowl Inn. That was where I went, standing up, jumping around next to the away fans, banter and whatnot, and you just try and out-sing each other. So now, I mean, the thing with the Trevor Brook in lower now is it's very corporate down there. There's a lot of tourists. I've been down there myself. And if they did that, where would they move them? If they moved them to the Bobby Moore lower, I don't think it'd work. And even if they made the Trevor Brook in lower safe standing, I think they'd still have to make the Bobby Moore lower safe standing. Because just because they've moved it over there does not mean that whole section is going to sit down because they've made a section half that size.
No, it's going to be interesting because especially if like Man United is only 1,500 seats, because I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that like in the London Stadium the lower tier is 19,000 seats.
Right.
So if you tried to rough that up, you might go, I don't know, 6,000 each end and then 6,000 either side and 3,500 either end.
Yeah.
So if you're doing one end, you're looking at 3,000 seats.
Yeah.
You can't split that in half and then say one half does it, one half doesn't, unless you're going to do the other end on where the away fans is. Because then that is about 1,500 seats.
Yeah. Or leave it on the wings of, say like Bobby Moore, leave the wings of people that want to be down there in the band for soak up the atmosphere but can't stand all game. So maybe maybe they could be next to us. You got like 4 rows of four seats each side. I think it is 4 or 5 seats.
I mean,
So
you
they
can see
could be
this
all down
picture.
there.
See here, this Celtic one. That's clearly
Yeah.
that looks like a corner. It's probably the corner flag. They've got their little seat. Yeah, it's in the corner. So, I mean, you couldn't do it at the corner where we are because it's just there's too many seats. You'd probably have to make it on an end.
Well, there is no corners.
What do you mean? Like, that's what I mean. Like, the way it's curved, there'd be too many seats and sections to do it on.
Yeah. It would need to be, if it's done in the corners, it'd need to be given its own section. I mean, it could work. It could work in a sense. I mean, like we've got the new Chev corner on the right hand side of the away fans.
I think
it's called.
Yeah, I think maybe this is
side.
something that I think Golden Sullivan should definitely be applying to do it, but I think maybe they should actually be feeling out either in emails or.
There you go, Ken Hammond. Sorry. Chav Corner is alive and well. They all stand on the last block of West Ham fans near the away section. So
yeah. You could trial it there.
Yeah,
but I think as I was going to say, they either need to maybe reach out through emails to season ticket holders, or maybe reach out through some of the social media platforms just to try and gauge fans' reactions on where they want it.
Yeah,
because the last thing we want is the ball to go, oh yeah, we'll do it, and then they go and stick it like I don't know in the Trevor Brooking upper, where it's not going to make a difference. Because that's just something they do. They're like, oh, stick it over. Do you know what I mean? They'd be worried about upsetting someone.
Change the band fives. Change the band fives. We don't care about them. Change the band fives.
You need to. It needs to be in the lower tier somewhere that's A, going to make the atmosphere better, and B, going to actually be visible.
Yeah.
This is the thing Premier League clubs have all got to think about, is that, like Celtic, like Wolves, it needs to be somewhere that is clearly visible on the TV camera, so you can see it.
Yeah.
Because it's no good having it somewhere. Because bear in mind, everyone that applies for this, they said it looks like they're going to get about 1,500 seats, and that's going to be a trial basis to prove that Premier League fans can now be trusted again to have safe standing, so that at some point in the line, they can maybe go a whole stand. You know, like 10,000 people standing up. They do in Germany.
The easy argument to make for where to make it a safe standing area at the London Stadium is for David Gold, David Sullivan to stand up in the Ivory Tower and look down and see where people are actually fucking standing. You know, but
that'd be too
nothing's
easy.
ever easy. Nothing's ever easy.
That would be too easy for them.
Yeah,
they'll just go to like the market people. Oh, we need to put some safe standing in. Where's good to do it? Oh, Bobby Moore upper right in the far corner. You get 1,500 fans up there. They're all band fives. Yeah, stick it there. There's no point.
Make them 300, make them 250 quid a season because we take the seats away and sold them on eBay.
Yeah, but seriously, if everyone's going to do it, they have to put it somewhere in the lower tier. Where you want to put it is up to you. Like every stadium, every team that does it, but it needs to be somewhere that it's front and centre on live global television every time there's a live game,
and
so people can see the impact it has.
And the away section, they'd have to make the first few rows seated for stands that can't stand, and then the last one standing because they stand anyway. And if we're going to go with this down the safe standing route, you can't. And they're worried about people tripping over the seats in front, so it will be the away section as well. See, that's not too bad. So
see, you
can see
front, you see what you see, and you got the row in front.
Yeah, and the seats are higher, so you can sit down and still see the match if the person in front of you is standing up. So it's a win-win. It is a win-win.
But we've now got to hope that all the Premier League teams don't fuck it up. That's the thing. Someone messes it up somehow, and it falls because it's not going to. The thing is, the way modern football, especially British football, is perceived. One team, one club messes this up, just one club, and it'll be done.
Yeah. You're saying they're going to try and pin it on us, aren't you? It's always West Ham's fault, even if we're not there.
No, do you know what I mean? Not necessarily, but I don't want to say I don't want to pick a team out saying, "Oh, they're the bad team." Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like a bad thing. It could just be, I don't know, some bloke up at Newcastle gets too pissed on his pre-match pints and falls down the stairs.
Yeah, bangs his head or bangs his teeth on the corner.
He gets too pissed. He leans on that rail and he just fucking goes over the top. And they'll be like, "Oh, look, we told you safe standing is no good," and we're back to sitting again.
Yeah, the thing is, if that weren't there, he would have fallen over the seat in front of him regardless and probably done a flip. How would they decide how many seats to make safe standing? That's from JGM. Demand could be high, which will lead to people still having to stand at their current seat. So that's what was just covering JGM, where Bobby Moore lower is already standing. It's not safe standing, obviously, but it's standing. So what we're saying was maybe on the wings, say on the furthest point to the right, furthest point to the left of Bobby Moore Lower, where there's like those 4 or 5 seats on each thing, they could make those for people that choose to still be there, soak up the atmosphere, but can't stand all that game and choose to sit. They could go there. Whereas the middle section would all be standing, or they would have the option to move. You know, this isn't something that's going to be rushed and say, right, this is it next week. It will be something where they're saying, we're thinking of doing this.
It'll be
blah,
next
blah,
season,
blah.
probably.
Yeah. At the earliest.
Everyone's going to be looking to implement for next season.
Yeah.
I would have a massive guess that say that the sports minister and the head of the FA, the head of the Premier League, will probably all sit down together with the SGSA, and they will say you can trial it on. I mean, I don't know the percentage actually. I was about to say the percentage number, but I mean, Man United have said about 1,500 seats, and they said they got like a 70,000 seat stadium. That's, you know, you're looking at like less than 1%.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a high number. It depends what they're willing to trial it at. Like, that's the problem. They're going to, you know,
it's cost, isn't it? It's cost. Our board wouldn't want to say, all right, let's do that. Yeah, it's going to cost us this much and not know if it's going to work.
It is going to be done. Everyone's going to have to pay, like everyone. The Premier League clubs, if they want to implement it, are going to have to pay for it themselves. But they're not. It's not going to overnight go, oh, there's 10,000 standing seats. If you're lucky, you might get 2,500.
Hopefully, I'm one of them. Alf, we're all standing in 130, and they do opposite 2. Is that 160?
Well, again, like
there's so many people that choose to stand in areas of the ground, so I don't think there'd be an issue of not being able to find enough people willing to stand. It's just, will people be willing to move? If they make it safe standing Bobby Moore Lower, then those that don't want to stand can go. Yeah, if people that don't want to stand can go, and then other people will have to join a waiting list then to come in the area, or they extend it.
Well, it could be something more simple as I mean, most of the Bobby Moore Lowers stand up anyway. I sit above it. I'm in the Bobby Moore Upper, and I can see a lot of them standing up. But surely it could be a case of the old ticket exchange where, you know, 500 people sitting in the Bobby Moore Lower don't want to stand up, so they've tried back to the club. I don't want to stand,
and you just
and
move.
You've got waiting list people that do want to come in, and you can just go as long as you're not the same band or a like for like band. We'll just swap your seats.
Yeah. The only issue there comes in where people will sit like 5, 6 of them, and they all want to move together and all want to sit together. But we're all adults. We don't have to be in our friends' pockets for 20 minutes.
Well, again, though, if you're that bothered, well, then sorry, I'm not being funny. They've still got 6,000 seats waiting to open up on the upper tier anyway, because we're at 60,000 and the capacity is 66, and they've applied to get it another 2,500 anyway. So potentially, anyone that's sitting bottom or lower, you go sit up in the upper.
Well, that will then become a band 5, but the option is there.
Yeah.
Mr. Fong saying we should test standing, but I think standing should go to season ticket holders only.
Well,
I agree.
I don't think that's an issue. Considering
but I don't think it's.
I think it's 50,000 season ticket holders.
Yeah.
So 5, 6 of the ground is season ticket holders.
Yeah. I think it just means more that you don't get some moron come in and ruin it for everyone. So it's being tested by known fans. You know. Well, you don't get someone come in.
Again, that's why I said either the Bobby Moore Lower or the block in the Trevor Brooking maybe, or one to the other side of the away fans.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll find it's probably more like the Bobby Moore Upper, like where I sit, and the Trevor Brooking Upper, and maybe the 2 side stands is where you'll get the tourist fans. Yeah. I highly doubt you're going to get many tourist fans sitting in Bobby Moore Lower, unless they're football fans from Europe and they want the experience.
Yeah, what's saying about the Trevor Brooking Lower is there is a lot. I mean, and putting it politely, Thomas Cook tourists. There's a lot of Asian fan base, but they're more interested in taking selfies, stuff on their phone when I've been down there. So, yeah, Bobby Moore Lower, I don't think would have an issue, and that's why I think it'll be the best place to do it rather than down there.
Neil said if we get relegated, you'll probably be able to stand anywhere you like.
Yeah, there'll be no one making sure you're sitting in your own seat, that's for sure.
No.
You've probably got a chance of standing in the dugout, to be honest.
It's again, I think it's something everyone's going to be going for.
Sorry, having a coughing fit. Take over, Matt.
Sorry. So we've got Irons United. We've ahead of ourselves.
I wouldn't trust anyone for that.
What's your thoughts on Pellegrini and Huzilios's sons being head scouts when they were at the club? I would say it depends on their football knowledge. I don't know who they are, so I can't say what their football knowledge is. But I could equally say it's no worse than Sullivan ringing up an agent and going, "What players have you got?"
Yeah.
Because if they're actually going and scouting games, at least they're looking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
No worse.
they had some good signings. They had some awful signings.
Yeah.
You know, it was very much 50-50 down the middle, and it depends where you can bring those signings back to.
And is it any worse than signing Hugill?
Exactly. But again, like, we signed Bowen on deadline day, and the only reason we got Bowen is because Bowen's agent's mates with David Sullivan. Like, if someone else had come in, I have no doubt Sullivan would probably have been lying in his mate's back pocket, like, "Oh, come and get the transfer over the line."
Yeah. And hang on, someone's hitting the wrong button, or I am. Hang on. I've got one of those touch mouses on the front of my laptop. Still enjoys his popcorn. That is not a bad one to sit on because he does. I've seen it. I've been there.
That's all right. He still can have his safe standing and use his seat for his popcorn to sound.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. I've seen him drunk with a popcorn bucket on his head. So, right. Let's have another little look for the comments. But yeah, I don't think it should be allowed to have your son come in. To be honest, it's a bit of a joke, that one. You know, but would the board? I mean, did he say to the board, "I'll only take your job if you give me son a job"?
They must have. I don't know if they. I'm assuming he must have worked for Malaga or something. Yeah. They must have had some sort of previous experience for him to bring him in.
Pellegrini, do you know each other? No.
You got the same last name? Is that? Oh no, it's really common in South America.
Oh, this always happens. This always happens. Yeah.
But again, like at least they were actually scouting. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have scouts now. We've got one scout. Like let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah. Any last questions? Get them up because we'll be gone in a few minutes. So get your jokey ones up as well because we haven't had many of them today. And the dog's getting in on the action. Ludo, my doggo. He wants to come on TV. All right, mate. Leave it out. People are watching.
The only thing I would say is that they shouldn't have brought in. They needed to bring in a director of football. And I still say we need one now.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't bring in a director of football that is friends with the manager. Like it shouldn't be like they need obviously to have a working relationship. But like at Everton, they brought in Ancelotti, and that was the guy that as soon as he became available, their director of football went, "Yes, he matches the way I want the club to develop."
Yeah.
Because the director of football is the guy that has the vision of the club.
Yeah.
So bringing them both in and just bringing their sons in, it does seem a bit like everyone's got their hands in their pockets. How much money can we get out of it? Looking back on it now.
Yeah, bit of a strange one. We're going to go to. Hang on, that moved. That's what I was going to say, JGM. Kent Hammers, how many fans do you think we'll get in Championship at home, especially midweek? Sky being all midweek games. I was going to say 30k, and JGM has come in and said that. Tops. I think probably about 33.
I was going to say about 35.
I'll say 33. I think some games, though.
It will depend.
It will drop. If you're playing a shit team, you know, on a Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever it's going to be.
It will depend on how fucking tight Gold and Sullivan are. Because for me, if you're playing Barnsley on a fucking Tuesday night at home and you don't make it a kids for a quid game with an adult ticket being 20 quid,
yeah,
no one's going to turn up. This is what they're going to have to look at. You can no longer go, "Oh, we're paying Charlton Athletic at home. That's a London derby. That's a Cat A game." No one's going to pay 90 quid to turn up for Charlton on Tuesday night.
Yeah. Mr. Fong says a doggy wants walkies. I can assure you he don't. What he likes to do is he likes to go and stick his face in his water bowl, and every time he does it, he likes to walk over and give me a slobbery kiss. And that's that. Probably get 25k average from JP, giving up his season ticket if we go down. A lot of people are giving up their season tickets.
I won't. I won't. It'll be cheaper.
Yeah, I won't. Well, it won't be cheaper because they'll say we got more games. And it
This
balances itself
is
out.
what I said.
That's what happened before.
Yeah, someone else said this to me. They said when we got relegated last time, they didn't actually lower the season ticket price because they were, well, you get more games for your money.
Yeah.
But I'm not being funny. Isn't like the 1966 seats are like 1,500 quid a seat.
Yeah.
No one's going to pay that for a game of the championship.
I was up there for the West Brom. I think we must have swapped places because I give up my Bobby Moore lower ticket because someone had a hospitality ticket for me. So me and my dad went, or he was him who got them. We went up there, and for the money to get a free beer, it was. I said to him, "I wish I was downstairs." Sat up there, no atmosphere, all for a free. Your first pint is free at half time. Like we're thinking, result beers. No, your first one.
First one. Like
First
people aren't
one.
going to pay that sort of money.
No.
Like
I can't believe they do now.
I can believe it because there'll be people there that have got money that just want Premier League football. They won't necessarily be West Ham fans.
Yeah.
But people aren't going to pay like 900 quid for a season to get in the championship.
Yeah. I think we'll skip that one, ladies and gentlemen. That one up on screen. I'm not surprised. Annie said, "Let me put my face on a bowl of beer," which I love. We'll go to Ryan Thomas as our last one. I think we'll wrap this up because we said it'd be a short one. Nobody's coming to an end of service for the club. Do you believe Rice will be given more responsibility in the coming months as a result? I do, but I feel he probably will and should be moved to centre back, especially with the new signings we've got coming in. Matt has got a text. Matt, have you got any news for us? He's doing a Nigel. Has he got any transfer news for us? Any secrets coming in?
We're shit, mate. That's what it says.
Me and you, or the club in general?
Oh, the club in general. No, I think
all of us.
I think this is going to depend on Souček.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, he is coming in. It's going to take him a while to get the language barrier down, and I reckon, like the phrases of whatever. But he is coming in as the club captain of where he was, so obviously has responsibility to do it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Noble's definitely winding down, and I think at the end of this season he's going to be he'll be a bench player.
He doesn't want to become what Nolan was, where everybody was unsure, getting booed coming off, booed going on.
I don't think he will.
But he needs... Yeah, he just doesn't... I think he is well aware that he doesn't want to still play in there when his time's up. And he knows that now, to be honest. But his heart's there. It's just the legs are going, isn't
they? He's 33 in May. You'll probably get another maybe 2 years out of him.
Yeah.
Coming off the bench and playing every other game.
Yeah.
But realistically, he should have been doing that for the last 2 years. We haven't brought anyone in to do it.
We haven't brought anyone in.
I think Rice is possibly a little too young to take on that responsibility. I think he's only 19, 20.
Yeah, and he's not been with us long either, or not been playing for the first team
I
for a long
say
time.
He needs another 2 or 3 years to then let him get his own game sorted.
I'd say 2 years while maybe we train Noble up to be a coach or what have you. That was the dog, by the way. That wasn't me.
The coming months, I'd say no. The coming years, I'd say yes. I just don't think at the moment.
Jesus. No.
That's it. We're done. See you later, guys.
He couldn't stay away. Right.
I'm not on for long.
Thanks everyone for watching. That is now us done, and goodbye.
Evening, fellas. You well?
Yeah, we're still on.
Yeah. What's the conversation tonight? We're talking about standing.
We was that. Yeah, that was at the start. Yeah, that was 40 minutes ago. Where you been?
Have you moved on?
Yeah, we moved on.
Go on.
I also heard in Europe that stands can be a 40-degree angle, whereas England is 30 due to safety reasons. That's a cute.
How many more people can they get in the stadium at a 30-degree angle? Have we worked that out?
Yeah.
Where's that? Is that Germany? Fine.
That's the yellow wall, isn't it? Dortmund.
Dortmund. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the yellow wall, I think.
Do you reckon the club are going to go for it, or the Premier League will go for it, or? Sorry, lads, if you've already covered this.
We have covered it. Right. The Safety Advisory Committee are looking into it. The results have been good coming back after reports from Celtic. It's showing less tension between fans and stewards would be a polite way of putting it. Parliament, a vote was done of MPs, and 2/3 of MPs are up for lifting the ban set in 1994. I've got to write my notes now as we're doing a roundup, aren't we? An end of show roundup. I've forgotten the guy's name. Sports Minister Nigel Adams was positive, sees the reports with a positive, and said he wants to move quickly with regards to introducing safe standing at grounds.
Man United have applied for 1,500 seats, and they've actually got to the point of sending out letters to season ticket holders saying you are potentially currently sitting in what is going to be our safe standing area. So,
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So we're talking about this being quite imminent then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
we're looking at the
Wolves
possibility.
already have it. Wolves
already have it. And ready
Tottenham
just
have
for the
it.
green light to go bong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tottenham have set aside. Us, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham are all in favour of it. Basically, every Premier League club in London, with
Apart from
exception
us, I
to
guess.
Palace. Apart from
Yeah,
Palace. No,
apart from Palace.
even David Gold has come out in support of it.
Yeah, what we know, David Gold has got absolutely nothing to do with the club when it comes to decision making. So we take that with a pinch of salt, can't we? Unfortunately,
God, he comes on. Look, this was not an anti-bald one, and he comes on.
I'm not.
Bang.
I'm not talking.
He's been negative.
That, but
No, you mean
a minute.
David Sullivan makes all the decisions. Sullivan and Brady, and Goldie's just happy for the ride.
yeah,
Ken
exactly.
Hammers, I won't give up my ticket next season if we're relegated. He's seen them before and done it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
agreed,
with
mate,
Ken Hammers.
agreed.
I wouldn't. Are we all renewing if we go down? I think
I will be. Yeah.
I'll still be there.
You know, it's about supporting the club, and I know a lot of people are upset. And
New
going
away
on.
grounds to visit as well.
Well, there you go. And
Yeah.
beating Nottingham for quite a while. That'd be an interesting visit. And
I thought you was banned from
Leeds.
Nottingham now. Didn't you get caught running around wearing a green tunic
on
and
my.
so shooting arrows at people because you heard it was illegal if you did it on a Tuesday and shot a Welshman?
There you go. You caught me out. How did you know that was me? I was in disguise. I looked like I thought I was.
Well, they
dressed
said he
as
looked like a
Scott.
cross between Mr. Beam and Jeff Goldblum. So I know that is.
So is that the theme that you're talking about now, going down again, or have we?
We did cover it a bit.
Yeah.
We talked about prices and seats and.
Well, I reckon. I mean, in terms of seating, I reckon it could be. It might be a blessing in disguise at West Ham. Yeah, at the current ground, it might actually increase the atmosphere a bit more.
We were saying maybe 30,000. We'll get 35,000.
Yeah, but the thing is, the interesting
though.
thing is and as Dan would testify, the best parts of the stadium at the moment are both ends of behind the goals, where we all stand anyway. So it's kind of like fait accompli, unless they're going to try and allow standing on the Billy Bonds side and the West Stand. An awful lot.
It means
of
a
fans
Trevor
are already.
Brooking.
No, mate, Trevor Brooking's already standing because that's where the away fans are.
Well, this is what we were saying.
Yeah,
We was
next
surely
next
they'll
to
have
him.
try it
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. Don't they allow them to stand there?
No,
Already.
it's very corporate. It's Thomas Cook selfie time down there. I've been there
is that where
myself.
they all are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best that they stay there and
Don't
forget
realise
about
they've been
them.
sold banned 4 tickets for £1,200. That's what it's like, sitting there with a popcorn and sweets.
Yeah, nothing wrong with popcorn, mate. You know.
Right, last question from
Go on.
Facebook. Will the scaffolding handle it?
No, we'll all
Safety.
fall over.
Well, we've been doing it for, 3-4 seasons? How long we've been there?
Like we were saying,
exactly.
that picture we had of Wolves, not taking anything against it, but it does look a bit like sort of Meccano metal put together. It does look like it is just a couple of railings put together. So surely, because realistically, they're not going to get this past probably Trub before next season, regardless. So surely when they do their rejig in the summer, if they're moving the lower tier forward, they can, when they put the scaffold back up, they can implement some sort of scaffolding tier for it. Like, sure, they can put some sort of railing. It shouldn't be that hard or cost that much money.
But the lower tier that they're planning to do, that's coming into effect in the beginning of the new season, next season.
Yeah, so surely they can link it up together.
Well, you'd think so. That would be the sensible thing to do, wouldn't it? But we're not sensible at West Ham. So they'll probably add whatever number of seats that are going in. People will get pissed off because it's not going to be underneath the roof anyway. And then halfway through the season, they'll announce something like we're going to allow standing, which means that those who are already standing in the Bobby Moore lower are just going to continue to stand. So,
We're just
I
going to put
don't
up
know
with
how
a
different.
railing.
Like I said, I think the only difference is we need a bit of atmosphere in the Billy Bonds stand and in the West Stand where all the corporates are. That's where they should allow standing. To be honest with you, that might make a bit of difference. But the massive difference is if they started to bring the seats closer on the sides, not behind the goals. It's actually all right behind the goals already. You know, I don't think it's that bad. You know, it's either side of the stadium that they need to find a solution for. But I doubt very much they'll allow standing in those stands. You know, I'd be surprised. You know.
Well, I think on that one, we will wrap this up. Thank you for coming on, gentlemen. Matt and Stel, thank you very much for watching.
Like that.
That's all right. I mean, as we got here, last comment going up on the board. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Hit that subscribe button, and when we come off, obviously scroll up, give us
Mitchell, not David Baddiel, for God's sake.
Yeah. Obviously, when you come off, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you don't accidentally click thumbs down. And obviously, you can follow us on our Facebook, Twitter. Where else, lads?
That's it. Facebook and Twitter.
No, Instagram. We've got our site.
Yeah. There's that as well.
But yeah, subscribe to us on here and come to our Facebook, and from there, the web just opens up and leads you off to Stel's face absolutely everywhere. So if that's what you're into, then please do that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you with a new video shortly.